Happy Sunday afternoon. I'm on my way to go pick up my youngest son, Donovan. He just got his hair styled. So let's see how it turned out. Encampment right here. Still overcast today. Hopefully the sun will come out more. The temperature is about what? 80 degrees right now. So it's pretty warm out. Up. Gas is like $4.35 here at this place. It's pretty cheap.
Say this is like a win because he didn't collapse, but in the way, it's a loss because now they're kind of stuck with them. At least the breakup is now going to be longer.
Right, and the media was back in the bag of the So they were not actually doing a favor to the Democrats who wanted Joe Biden to figuratively fall on his face, because they went back to straight fawning.
Yeah.
The first question last night was, your political future has hung over the NATO summit a little bit this week, a little bit, and how can you reassure the American people you won't have more bad nights? What kind of questions are those? Just ask him. Okay, in February, you were taking Eliquis, a blood thinner, Crestor for cholesterol, and some nasal spray for allergies. Those were your prescription meds. What other prescription meds are you taking now? Do you not know? Well, how many pills are in your hand at night before you go to bed? Do you count them? Who gives them to you? Is it Jill? Is it Hunter? Are you taking any shots that we know of? And I'm not talking about the injections you're getting in your face. By the way, what are you getting shot in your face? I have Restylane, but you look like you have something a little bit firmer going on in here.
David, you are seeing a very interesting pivot here. You had all of these media people panicking, and now they're like, ugh, what are they going? How are they going to explain this to their audience?
Well, their audience, I mean, MSNBC, it's pretty easy. They're morons to begin with. So you can kind of just rely on that. But also, you know, their whole thing was Joe Biden needs to step down. He's not capable of doing this job. Every single person at NBC News needs to resign. I mean, the past 8 years of their journalistic track record, again, not Russian collusion. They knew it was fake the entire time. The laptop, I can keep going. COVID origin. Every major story of the past 8 years, they have been wrong. So how are they going to even criticize Joe Biden, who is, as I've said, a Halloween decoration, when they are the worst people at their job?
Yeah, no, it's so true. What is the temperature today in New York? Is it like 93? And I love the fact that you're just wearing a thick cardigan.
Yeah.
Is this in honor of Judd Hirsch?
No, I'm just leaning into the old guy thing. You know, it's working for Joe. Maybe I can get some of that. Maybe
Maybe you can get a Dr. Jill.
Yeah.
Kat, I feel like, you know what Joe did? Joe, like somehow prolonged the relationship. Like he knew he was going to get dumped. It's like a guy who knows he's going to get dumped, and then all of a sudden he starts, you know, bathing and bringing you flowers. And he thinks, I think I got this in the hand, but it's just putting it off.
I honestly think that the thing to think about from last night and his presser was not so much how he did, but how we all felt watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we it was nerve-wracking. Like you're watching it, you're like, okay, like every single one of us, it's like you're watching someone play a game of Jenga for their life.
Yes.
Which becomes even more crazy when you realize that what you're watching him do that has you that nervous is reading.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
I know.
I'm like, okay, he got that one. Like, it's reading.
Yep.
And everyone's like, well, see, that was pretty good reading he did there.
Yes, got it.
Am I going crazy, or is that quite the low bar?
Yes.
Like, he was, I mean, sure you said some things off the cuff. A lot of it was just, like, prepared.
Yeah, and then it was always, like, trailing off to the word anyway. 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 And then, but Todd, it's like he kind of placed his performance in the worst possible position for Democrats, because they would want to, if he fell flat on his face, then they could get out. But now he just breathed enough.
And that's why Trump last night was like, this is great, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Because that was a great night for Trump. Yeah. And Kat, you hit the nail on the head. The voters, those of us that actually will decide this election, they didn't think last night was good. Who thought last night was good? The Democrat enablers in the White House like Bate, and the Democrat enablers in the media like Rachel Maddow is like, you know what? He put on a foreign policy clinic like we know he can do, because his last 50 years have been a foreign policy tour de force, as Paul Begala, Clinton's guy, said.
Mm-hmm.
What's tour de force about this? killing all those people in Afghanistan, allowing Hamas and Russia to say, well, now's the time to invade. And we've reported on multiple times. Robert Bates said, Joe Biden has been wrong on every single foreign policy decision, and that's Obama's guy. So the gaslighting to rehabilitate what the media did to Joe Biden over 2 weeks is in full force and effect. It is counterbalanced by all these Democrats, senators, and congressmen who are like, we're out. The big takeaway, this is disarray. And I go back to what I said in the last block. Republicans need to jump on this because for the first time in a while, you Republicans aren't losing your heads over a speaker vote. The Democrats are the ones that are in disarray and looking like a cluster F of epic proportions. Let them run with it. Take advantage of it next week.
All right.
I'm a one-trick pony today.
Yes. Maybe I will buy an Acura from this man. Just give me a card, I'll call you. Up next, a stripper bared her thighs, but did she tell some lies?
You better go out and buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody's ever seen before.
Numbers that we've never seen before. If you take a look at my investment account on my website below at thefinanzone.org, I am now up over $7,000 just from listening to President Trump. If you want to join in on this and get up to $1,000 in bonus stocks inside with our SoFi referral link, click the link below. The sale's ending soon. Learn to invest like President Trump, step by step and easy. It's very beginner friendly. You do not need a lot of money to get started. It's a myth that you need a lot of money to invest. And actually, it's even better if you don't have a lot of money, because this will be the first step you take to changing your financial future. $1, $5, $10 even is a great amount to start with. You also don't need to buy the entire stock. You can buy some of a stock, just a few bucks worth. It's for both beginners and experts. I teach you how to set up an account, how to buy a stock, but I also dive deep into Trump's economic policies that could affect certain stocks and industries, as well as stocks that Trump owns, and what he is saying about the market, stocks that I'm buying, and much, much more. So if you want to sign up right now and take action, learn to invest like Trump, step by step and easy. The sale's ending soon. Click the link below, guys.
Now, Doug in Exile just came out and said that when Rachel Maddow says the quiet part out loud, go check out Doug. He's a great guy.
Even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all of the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality in national security terms. Now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
Damn, bro. She's insane. Absolutely insane. Now, this is crazy.
What's up, playa?
Megyn Kelly actually exposed how
You get a permit or you just get a haircut?
What she just said.
Have the supplies right now, so
and keep in mind, Megyn Kelly also got fired from
you waiting around or
because
what?
of racist remarks.
You want McDonald's or
about
you
a
want
Halloween costume.
Panda?
But Rachel
I
Maddow
just want to drink from McDonald's.
is not getting fired.
You want to get a
Let's
drink
tune
from
in,
McDonald's?
guys.
The fallout from Joy Reid's firing at MSNBC continues.
You want to get a drink and what?
She signed off from the show.
You sure?
The last time last night. I mean,
okay.
we are going to miss her in our own special way.
Let me see if we have
And her
something.
now former colleague, Rachel Maddow.
Let me see what we got going on here. Let me see if I get a special for some fries, huh? You want some fries? Huh? You don't want any fries? How come you don't want any fries, buddy? Let me see. Boys and deals. How about the McNuggets? 6-piece McNuggets? Huh?
Yeah.
You want that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I can get some McNuggets. I'll get a drink and you can get McNuggets. Bet?
Yeah, I need a drink.
What?
I want a drink.
What kind of drink do you want?
A sweet iced tea lemonade.
Sweet iced tea lemonade with no ice? Or with ice?
Light ice.
Light ice?
Yeah.
Okay. So how long were you waiting?
For you?
No, I mean to get your haircut.
Oh, like 10 minutes, and then my haircut took like 40.
40? How long? It took so long, buddy. That's almost illegal, man.
Because he did my eyebrows and he shaved my mustache.
Okay, all right. How's your half brother doing?
Are you going to be using mobile app today?
Yes, sir. The code is 7075. The code is 7075.
Yeah, I got it. 360s?
Yeah, and then can I get a what size of iced tea?
Sweet lemonade iced tea, or sweet tea lemonade, large.
One large sweet iced tea lemonade. With light on the ice, please. Okay, and that includes the 6-piece, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, which sauce do you want with that?
Barbecue, please.
Okay. Alright, guys.
Thank you so much.
Up for 60.
Thank you. What's up, player? So you like your haircut?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Glad you like it. Ago. Oh, wow.
Never one to not be the center of attention if she can find a way of injecting herself into a story, decided to deliver a monologue aimed directly at her bosses. And this is the theme of what we saw. I looked it up today just so I would know the actual definition. Merriam-Webster: sanctimony, affected or hypocritical holiness. Wikipedia describes sanctimony as a feeling or display of moral superiority. Here's another one for you.
Your hair looks good that way. I don't think you really need a perm.
From
What are
Oxford.
you doing with your teeth, buddy?
A certainty,
What's wrong with your teeth?
especially
You need
an
braces.
unfounded one, that one is totally
You need
correct
for braces?
or morally superior. I give you Rachel Maddow. We will kick it off with SOT 7.
In all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I
Yeah,
have been
you brushed your teeth this
alive,
morning?
there is no
Huh?
colleague for whom I have had more affection and more
that?
respect
What's that?
than
What's that?
Joy Reid. I love
Yes.
everything about
Is hair
her.
in my nose?
I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC, and personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door.
Huh?
It is not my call,
What's
and
that?
I understand
I'm
that.
itchy.
I will tell you, it
Itchy?
is also
Nice to meet you, Itchy.
unnerving to see that on a network where we've
Nice
got
to meet you, Itchy.
two,
How are you
count
doing
them,
today,
two
Itchy?
non-white hosts in primetime.
Ichi ni san
Both
chi go
of
yo
our non-white hosts
woku
in
nanahachi.
primetime are losing their shows, as is
Juju.
Katie Fang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
and I do not defend it. It feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
You don't like Taco Bell anymore, huh?
She really is one of the most, maybe, is she the most annoying people on television. She oozes sanctimony and self-righteousness. And here's the real capper. She took her boss's faces and rubbed them in shit last night. That's what she did. The guy who oversees, she's got 2 bosses now, right? All right, she's got the first boss, who's new. I've got to look up her name because I don't remember her name. What's her name, Steve? Rebecca Cutler. Okay. Who answers to a different boss who's above Rebecca Cutler. His name is Mark Lazarus. His current title is Prospective Chief Executive Officer of SpinCo. That's Comcast planned spinoff of MSNBC, basically. He's responsible for the company's networks. Well, Rebecca and Mark, do you have any spines whatsoever? Are you actually going to let an employee, that's what she is, Rachel Maddow, talk about you, your company, and your decision-making this way? Mr. Lazarus, do you have any testosterone? Do you have any testicular fortitude to stand up for yourself as a professional and executive, never mind a man, and tell this woman, you're fired too. You're fired for insubordination and for disparaging the network publicly in front of our 4 viewers. We're very upset about what they must now think. Why don't you? If one of my employees ever did this to me, let's say, we start an MK network and we have MK employees who go from being my producers to going out there and offering commentary. It's happened in many places. And they did this, I would fire them so fast, and I would not be, you couldn't get me to back down with claims of, oh, it's viewpoint discrimination. You're cracking down on free speech. No, you work for me. You work for me. I'm going to give you my airwaves so you can go out there and rip on me? No, that's not going to happen. And look, it's one thing if you're in the middle of a whistleblower scandal, all right? I actually thought it was to her credit when she called them out at NBC when they were lying about not having the Harvey Weinstein story knocked down. That was one thing. But just getting on to randomly disagree with their decisions and accuse them of racism because you would have come to a different conclusion, she should be fired. They won't fire her because, I won't say the P word, but they are a bunch of P's. And she's the only one who comes close to putting numbers on the board. It's all relative, trust me. But, thinnest kid, fat camp and all.
For Kevin.
And so they're not going to fire her. But what she got away with on the air last night was absolutely disrespectful. And it was insubordinate. And it is just evidence of how she is.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Affected. She is somebody who evinces an affected or hypocritical holiness, a feeling or display of moral superiority. You really have to watch the whole 5 minutes. I'm going to take you through it. Okay,
what's that? Yeah, 6 nuggets? Yes, ma'am.
She starts off by saying, I'm going to take a little point of personal privilege.
What's that?
Just if it is okay with you.
It's medium?
We're your prisoners, Rachel. So yeah, go ahead. You may have already heard about these changes.
You charge for large, huh? You charge for large.
Of our network.
Okay, thank you very much.
Rebecca does not get a name.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Made it official today. This woman just took over on February 12th, by the way. It's not her. It's not her doing. This definitely came from all the way up. I guarantee you this was a Comcast call. This was probably Brian Roberts' call. Rumor has it that he couldn't stand Joy Reid, which makes sense because she hates white people, and he is one. So that's probably how that went down. Brian Roberts is not a complete lunatic. He's a businessman, and he likes making money, and that's why, as long as MSNBC was doing well, kind of
that was funny. Omar, you used the wrong
now it's hemorrhaging money, and
thing
so
to
you
plug
start
in
to
to charge your phone. It was a headphone set.
And weak actors first, and that sadly, Joy,
hilarious.
is where you fell on both counts. So it's not this woman Rebecca's fault, but Rachel Maddow would like to go out there and pillory all of them, including the new president, who made it official today.
Yeah, he gave me a large iced tea, huh?
Then she wants everyone to be assured.
It's called sweet iced tea lemonade? Is that it?
She is here. Right. She's going to be here 5 days a week for the first.
Are you going to be giving a speech at your commencement?
Presidency as planned.
Huh?
No. Okay.
What are you going to be doing special at your commencement?
I'm going back It's just Mondays.
What are you gonna be doing
Hell no,
special
I'm not
for your
working
commencement?
5 days a week on an ongoing basis.
You'll be
Here's
wearing a
just
cap and
little
gown?
of that. In prime time, just so you know.
That's right, you don't wear
I
cap
am
and gowns
here
in June.
5 days a week for the first 100 days of Trump's presidency, as planned. And as planned, I will go back to just Mondays after that. That is not changing. Hell no. Why would I change that? I'm not working full time.
No, you got it, go. Hell no. So Aaron's gonna get his haircut too.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first video of its type. If you notice when I upload videos, they're always about what I'm doing or where I am or some
Chris
people or person
must
that I met.
list.
But today
Got
is
locked
something
up
a
in
little bit
Trinidad.
different. It's going to be raw and unedited. About 10 minutes, I'm going to give you all of the craziness. Let me say the crazy shit that's happened to me over the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks here in Trinidad. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Anything that you heard anywhere else in the world, including major media outlets, if you heard anything different, they're lying. Okay, we'll keep it at that.
That barbecue sauce, or you just like plain?
I was here, in the beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago. And I created, let's say I documented, I filmed some videos that some would say are controversial. Okay, I went into some rough neighborhoods that are what some would consider no-go zones, places that regular folks just don't go. And I filmed them, and along the way, I was able to film and understand a little bit better what goes on in those neighborhoods. Now, some of those videos show people with guns. Some people have masks, some don't. I want to be very clear. Nothing was pre-planned. I walk into these communities. I never.
That's definitely
okay, let me.
Non-stealth, man.
Never I never pre-plan this, meaning I don't tell people in the video what to say. I don't pay them for their time. This is not acting. This is real life. I walk and talk in the communities and film what I see. Simple. Now, I got in trouble because of the controversial nature of my videos. Guns are controversial, especially in a country that is number 3 in the world for murder rate per capita. There's a real problem in Trinidad, and murder is at the top of the list of violent crimes here. So, this Canadian YouTuber comes into a country for the first time, myself, speaking in third person, and documents some of the harshest reality that most people want to avoid and people want to hide from, including politicians, government officials, and let's just be honest, a lot of people don't want the world to know what's happening in Trinidad. Now, when I pick up a newspaper, including today or yesterday, there's 3 murders on the front cover. Yesterday, 5 murders. Last week, within 24 hours, there were 7 murders here in Trinidad. So there's no secret that crime is an issue, but somebody was rubbed in a negative way when an outsider came and, I don't want to say showcased, let's say documented some of the problems for the world to see. Again, I didn't come to Trinidad with any agenda, which some people suggest. I'm definitely not a CIA, FBI, as some other people have suggested. I'm a curious man who likes to travel. This is my country, 128, and I came here just walking down the street on my first day, and I came across Duncan, got my first glimpse at what gang life in these type of neighborhoods is like. I hit record, I film. It's actually
Christmas list.
What I do, but
Lock up abroad. This past day,
videos,
10-day nightmare.
Which were gang-related. I had great enjoyment filming the steel pan bands and going to important, and eating doubles, and going fishing, and all that type of stuff as well. Although those videos don't get quite as much attention. Somewhere along the way, I rubbed somebody wrong, and I woke up one morning being detained, okay, where there was a warrant for my arrest, and all of my items were seized. I was brought to the police station and questioned for 2 days. Initially, the warrants had words on it like gang promotion, gang, profiting from a gang, I think was one of them, working without a permit, and there was one other charge, all related to gangs. Okay, that's what I was questioned for 2 days. After the 2 days, and let me be upfront, I answered every question they had. I have nothing to hide. And I don't know the inner workings of any gang. Okay, when I walk into a neighborhood and I film, the last thing that these people do is tell me their name and address and exactly how they're coming up with money. Let's be smarter than that. I'm a stranger to the community. I was questioned. Obviously, there was no evidence to me being in a gang or profiting from a gang, so those charges were dropped. But it was not time to celebrate yet. The charge of sedition was thrown my way. Okay, sedition is what some would consider a colonial law, meaning it was written almost double, like over 100 years ago. Trinidad is 60-something years old now, and this law is from over 100 years. So this law was written way before cameras, video cameras even were invented.
Guys,
But the charge of sedition had to do with me publishing content that would like stir up the community to like create rioting and such. I don't have the exact definition, so if you'd like to find out what sedition is, you could just Google sedition. I was charged with that and put into jail, not jail, a holding cell in the
Did you eat anything earlier?
Or the back of a prison on Brett.
What'd you eat?
Besson Street.
Did you have McDonald's before? When?
Spain. After 7 days, I was released out on bail.
10, 11?
I was at TNT. I had conditions. I had to stay at a certain location. I assured he was Mr. CJ, a very good friend that you saw in the beginning of today's video. And I had to sign in once a week at the police station. I was not allowed to leave, and the Trinidad and Tobago High Court retained my passport. Now, this was my first trip to Trinidad. The support I was getting every step along the way from people in the community, people in the country, was just incredible. What more can I say? Never in a million years did I think my articles or my picture would be in the newspapers. This was all brand new to me. I'm a man that has traveled the world. I've gone places like Afghanistan and Haiti and Ukraine war and Iraq and Lebanon, and basically I'm the danger traveler, all right? But I've never gotten the notoriety that I've gotten here, and the love. Let's be honest, it's a love-hate relationship. And CJ coined it, I'm the enemy of the state. So let's jump forward now. I finally was able to retain my passport, but part of my bail condition said I would have to return for my next court appearance. That was on August 23rd. So I went home to Canada. I also went to Cuba on vacation. I continue to live my life and film my videos around the world. Now I came back around the 18th of August for my court appearance. That was the 23rd. Now on the 22nd, I had to now submit. Do you mind getting that paper that CJ has? On the 22nd, I had to submit my passport to the high courts once again, because I had to follow the instructions of my bail conditions. Once that passport has been given, I'm restricted to not leaving the country again. That's actual and factual. And I'm going to tell you why I'm pressing upon that point. I'm going to catch you up as to what is going on today, because I had court today. So this is my Canadian passport. This was taken away from me. I had to manually submit it to the High Court. Once that happened, I continued to film videos, and along the way, the police come to my house again with a new warrant. Okay, like a movie, SUVs, blacked out. I don't know what they call the masks that some kids wear nowadays, where it's just your eyes showing.
Ski mask.
Literally, like from a movie. And they had a new warrant. So they searched my house and seized all my equipment again. The new charge that they came up with is money laundering. And although the document warrants said money laundering, during questioning they said I might have evidence of money laundering. But no, after 14 hours of interrogation with the anti-gang unit, they said no, there's no evidence of money laundering. I'll tell you why there was no evidence of money laundering, because I don't commit crimes. I'm in this country and I'm not a money launderer. I don't commit crime. And if I did, for example, come to a country to commit a crime, I would not be uploading to YouTube. I'd be as quiet and as secretive as humanly possible. I've become a pretty well-known person here and around Trinidad and the Caribbean, so it's just pure stupidity. But the document was signed, the warrant was issued, and I was under arrest. On the 14th hour, around 11 o'clock at night, I was released. Myself, charges were dropped, although my items were kept. I went home to relax at CJ's house, stressed out, but to relax, only to see the next day the police came again, SUVs again, with another warrant to arrest me. I was handcuffed. Nobody told me what my charge was. They simply said, you're going to be deported. There was a document that said deportation. No reasoning. No like deportation because of A, B, and C, just deportation. So I was brought to IDC, which is a detention center for immigrants. And let's say most there were Venezuelan, although I met a Haitian and two Jamaicans. I was not physically thrown. I was treated very well. I was put in solitary confinement, which some would consider, the hole. The hole is a dark place. And normally when new guests or inmates come to detention center, to ensure that they're not coming with any outdoor illness, you're housed separately for 10 days. So living conditions are worse than a movie. You know what I mean? Like toilet paper is very difficult to come across. Toilet doesn't flush, so there's a stockpile of your excrements. I don't know, whatever comes out of your bum. What else? Sucks. So I was there for 3 days, and then my lawyers were able to get me out. Just so you understand how this works, I'm in the country not for as a tourist. I mean, I want to back everything up I say, right? So here's my stamp into the country. Okay, August 18th. If you can see this, this is not tourist. There's a documentation that I'm here on official court matter. I have to be here. Okay, and I'm going to touch upon a few more questions or comments that I keep reading. I have to be here. I have no choice. I had to be here. So it doesn't make sense that they're trying to send me away from a country in which I'm here to get a fair trial for my charge of sedition. So normally in that circumstance, if they're going to put an arrest warrant for somebody, they check with the DPP to ensure that, hey, I can kick this guy or girl out of the country. Because with a deportation also comes a 3-year ban. So let's get this straight. You're trying to deport me from a country that you won't let me leave because you have my passport, and which that I'm only here because you made it a law for me to be here. So I have a deportation in front of me right now. Now, as of this morning, 9:30 in the morning, I had court. I showed up to court virtually. I got heard around 12:30. There's a long lineup of people before me, and because I'm fighting this myself, so that I fall to the back. Now, my 3 requests in court today were, first and foremost, please can I get my passport back so I can leave this beautiful country? Yes, granted, today. And factual, right? Because we're going to touch about this. There's a gentleman here named Mr. Hines, Fitzgerald Hines, that keeps spreading falsities. I think he's just making simple mistakes. I think he's probably a really nice man, but he continues to spread false information. So if we look at the bottom of this document right here, you'll see that it is here, I'm reading it backwards, it is hereby ordered that the bail application for variation is granted. The bail order, look, number 1, the applicant's passport is to be returned. Are you looking at this? Returned. This is today's date. No, that's not today's date, but this part is today's date. next appearance to show up virtually. So on January 14th, I don't have to come back to Trinidad. I can show up virtually. Now, that gets you a little bit caught up as to right now, this very moment. So I should be on an airplane because I got my passport in my hand. It's 4:17 on a Friday, but now we have a new problem. Because there is a deportation order against me, I am not allowed to leave the country, even though I have this passport. As of right now, I have to wait for a new hearing, which is next Friday, the 20th, with immigration. And at that point, I can ask to leave Trinidad and Tobago. That's where we're at. We're going to try to get a shortcut, and I'm going to try to email the immigration and say, look, please, I might even get on my knees and say, please, I have my passport now. Am I able to leave? But the response, it's the weekend now. I'm not going to get a response for a few days. So as of right now, I have my passport, but I'm still not allowed to leave. Now, my personal pet peeve, and you know what I find funny, for lack of a better term, it seems like every single person in my comment section on my videos has a law degree, because everybody has advice. I have people telling me, well, Chris, you should have just listened to me in the first place. So let's go over a few things that are really pissing me off, okay? Number one, I cannot leave Trinidad. Let me read something. Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, for those that don't know, he is the head of national security here in the beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. He was interviewed 48 hours ago, and I want to read a quote. And then I just want to make small corrections for Mr. Hines. Mr. Hines, if you're watching this, or any of your people are watching this, I'd love to welcome you to help create peace in your beautiful country. Let's use my platform. Let's talk together. I want to feature you. I featured Mr. G. What do we call him? Top G. Gary Griffith. I'll give you equal opportunity if you like. First thing that happened. Let me read the exact quote just to ensure that there's no misrepresentation of what Mr. Hines said. This was an interview that he had in the media. So I'm reading from this. I'll read it exactly as it sits. It said, asked about Hughes' third arrest while at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain for a conference, Hines said he does not arrest people, although he wished he could. So the first thing he said, he's not involved. He has no capability of arresting people, which, although might be factually true, like he's not the man that drove the vehicle, the SUV, up to the car, to the house, and put the handcuffs around me. He didn't do that. But what he did is he started. This is my actual warrant, and his signature right there, the Minister of National Security. That's my warrant. So it was him that had me arrested and put in the detention center. So when he said he had no involvement in the arrest, and although he wished he could, naughty. That's not factual. We would expect people of authority to remain honest all the time, because if you make a mistake, the media and the public in general might paint a different picture of me. They might really believe you. Let's go on a little bit further. Okay, this is, again, an exact quote from Mr. Hines. I'm advised that Chris List was charged for seditious activity some time ago. I am advised that he has returned recently to appear in court with respect to the matter, and I'm advised that having done so, he did not depart Trinidad and Tobago to his homeland, Canada, but decided to stay in Trinidad and Tobago and continued to make the videos of a nature that were complained of previously.
Hang out up, or you ready to go inside?
The police, operating
Why?
for protection of the people
Take a shower?
of Trinidad and Tobago,
Wash your hair?
acted in collaboration
Throw that in the
with
garbage,
the
please.
Division and the law of Trinidad and
All right.
Tobago are in
Catch
operation
up later,
in those
guys.
regards, the
Thanks. Peace
National
out.
Security Minister said. Naughty. Okay, first, I did not choose to